Okay, this project we're going to be making a new Flounder gigging light. This is my old one. It's basically made out of an old LED flashlight, one of the first ones. It's not too bright. I mean, it gets the job done, but they've advanced, of course, and so this time we're going to try making one out of a TacLight, because these are supposed to be extremely bright. We're going to have to modify this to fit in the same kind of fitting right here. So it's going to involve some cutting and some sealant and things like that. And hopefully I'll still be able to use the battery and the battery receptacle and the charging station and all that. I'll have to move this up to the end of the light. But anyway, should be an interesting project. Flounder gigging comes up in October and later part of December. So we got to get started on these projects now. Okay, so we're trying to get this into here. It does fit. This is a little too long, so we're gonna go ahead and cut this. But before we do, we're gonna need to unsolder this control unit. Okay, unsoldering should be fairly straightforward. First thing we need to do is we just gotta take a wet cloth and wet your tip. Cleans all the junk off, see how nice and silver that is. There's one, there's two. So one thing we gotta consider is these are adjustable lights. Here's one, or even all that, but probably about right there. So we'll do some measurements and some marking so that we'll set this according to what this showed us as the best focus before we mount it into the enclosure and cut it and all that. We're going to cut off a section here with this wheel. Now, this isn't the way this tool is supposed to be used. You got to be extra careful with your fingers, and of course, always have your safety goggles here. Okay, before we assemble this, we got to make sure things are watertight in the lens cap here and in the rest of the body here, and then of course when we connect it to the PVC. So you can see I shaped it. I had to put a little bevel in it here so it would fit down in there all the way, and then I used a wire wheel to get the sharp edges off here. I'm going to take a little bit of blue Loctite on these threads, reapply this, and then I'll be confident it's watertight. I already tested this for water tightness. I basically filled it with water and it didn't leak either direction, so I know it's good. And when it's all put together nice and tight, it's going to be pretty much waterproof. I'm going to set the focus at a good dispersion for flounder gigging, which won't be completely, tight like that, but maybe backed off right about there. Okay, we're going to mount our flashlight head to the PVC elbow at the bottom. We're going to be using this Loctite marine sealant adhesive. This is really good stuff. It flexes a tiny bit, hardens real good, and it sticks like epoxy. Great stuff. Anyway, see these ridges? This is going to mount up against this, and these ridges and the sanded edge, the inside edge of that elbow should hold it very nicely. Okay, unfortunately there's no neat way to do this. I've got to set that down in there, and we're going to use some paper towels and some thinner and things like that to clean up the outside of it. First, I'm going to put a weight on here and see what happens 24 hours. Okay, the process to affix the lens here to the PVC elbow, 45-degree elbow, worked out pretty good. It's a little messy, but this is not coming out of there. This stuff is all into the grooves of the light and then also on the lip here. So it will be just fine. I've already took the liberty of soldering on the extension wires to run through the rest of the light to get it to the power source. Okay, we're going to do a little assembly here. We're going to assemble the battery compartment. It's about 16 3/4 inches long, this PVC here. Forgot what size it is. Anyway, it looks like inch and a half. Yeah, it's inch and a half. Inch and a half. What we had to do with this coupling, it was a little too tight fitting in there. So I went ahead and tapered both ends of this because it's going to be the same way on the other side. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply the glue, and then we're going to set it in with this clamp right here. Because if you try to bang it in with a hammer or something like that, you could deform this. It needs even pressure. Clean that off a little bit, and we're good to go. We have our battery compartment completed and the T applied. This is where we're going to have our handle to be able to move the light around. I just need the battery in here. I don't need this whole part in here, which makes things a lot easier when putting this together, because now all I need is a waterproof toggle switch, and I'm good to go. As long as I can pull this out and charge it. That's the thing. I'll have to find a way to mount this inside where I get connectivity, and then I'm able to pull it out easily and put it in here and charge it and use this as a charger, basically. Much easier design, make this thing go a lot quicker. I may have to order some parts to get it done the way I want to, but either way, design update, progress.